Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil. Must expose all the evil being done in the name of Satan.
You ready? All right, we are here. We are live. It is Charlatan's web time. Yeah, ghost husband and all. We are ready to go. You want to introduce yourself, sweetheart? Let everybody know who you is and what you do and why you're here.
Hello everybody, I'm Tsunami. If you don't already know. Yeah, I guess we're here. I'm here today to talk about the king grifter of the outdoors world.
That's a good description.
Well, one of the king grifters of the outdoors world, because I feel like Krakow is the other one.
Well, we had Todd Standing too. He's kind of a grifter of the outdoor world, and he runs around in his ghillie suit like yeah. Also, you look quite lovely tonight, my dear.
Thank you, so do you.
Oh, thank you. Now, there's a lot to choose from because there's a lot of missing 411 stuff out there. David Paulides didn't start as like a missing persons kind of guy. He started as the Bigfoot guy, right? He wrote 2 books about... Huh?
Did he start as a Bigfoot guy? I know he was a cop.
Well, yeah, as a career, he was a cop, but he wrote 2 books about Bigfoot before he even got into the missing 411 stuff. So
Bigfoot
yeah.
books didn't sell well enough, I guess.
Yeah, well, linking missing people to Bigfoot. Ooh, spooky, right? That's the way to grift. So it's actually a pretty gross notion. And I'll tell you right now, I was a true believer of missing 411 when I first discovered it. It was at the tail end of my belief in like cryptids and Bigfoot and supernatural stuff. It might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, looking back on it, because this the first thing I remember believing and then disbelieving the more I looked into it. Because I used to listen to these stories when I was working overnights. I'd have my earbuds in. It was back when you had a cord, so I'd have a cord going to my hip pocket, walking around with a mop, cleaning up after the patients, listening to missing 411 stuff, and get myself all spooked out in the hospital at night.
Yeah, I think it's easy to like get yourself worked up.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll figure out how to look at the volume balanced audience. Sorry if does she still sound a little quiet? I bumped her up.
I'm on my headphones, so
Yeah. Hopefully it's working. But it looks like Ben is going live after this. And this show generally runs about an hour and a half. In case you're wanting to know what kind of time frame we're looking for. It's been running a little long with some of the people because there's just so much to cover. But after we are done here, Ben is going to live to talk about this Tylenol and autism thing, which needs to be talked about. Absolutely needs to be talked about because, wow, what a claim. But let's not get into that just yet. We'll revisit that at the end of the show. Before I get started, let me say hi to everybody, too. We got PCs out here dropping links. We got Wild World. Hello. Captive Desk in the house. Ember. There's you, Sumami. Sumami's in the live chat. Helen is here. Hello, love. We have Ian Davenport. Woohoo, indeed. Let's go. Let's do this. Sandy's in the house. Hello, my love. And yeah, Ben's here. Logan is here. Hi. Aunt Jura's here. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for showing up. We have some missing 411 to dive into. So this is going to be from Coast to Coast Official. We got David Paulides. Do you say Paulides or Paulides? I don't.
I've always said Paulides. But...
Yeah, Paulides. Yeah. And George Norrie here having a conversation.
People disappearing in our public park systems. They merely vanished.
She was 66 years old, I think, maybe a little older. Phenomenal shape. She called her husband all the time. One day didn't call. Massive search. Maine Warden Service threw everything at that search, and even the wardens said they couldn't believe they didn't find anything of her. So a man named George Penka disappeared on one of the biggest trails in Yosemite 2 years ago. And I know some of the people that were involved with that, and they said there's no way that guy could have disappeared. He was a robust man, not in terrific shape. He wasn't going to go anywhere.
Anybody, this is like, that's the toxic masculinity speaking. Anybody can disappear.
It's just immediately, it's just so ridiculous. It's like, geez, a woman that's in her 60s goes out hiking by herself. Like, what could possibly go wrong? Like, you can get lost, you could hurt yourself, you could have a medical issue. Like, no, she just disappeared.
Yeah, heart attack. She could, she could get attacked by somebody or something, an animal. There's lots of things that could happen. But, like, being kidnapped by Sasquatch or abducted by aliens, which are both ideas that are floated in Missing 411. Yeah, I think those are high on the list.
Off the trail, he vanished, and to this day, they've never found him.
But you would think that you would hear screams, yells, help me. None of that.
If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound?
This is another thing that always gets me is like, do people not understand the concept of like dehydration or yelling for help, for a long time until your voice starts to go hoarse, and then maybe when you hear searchers calling for you, you're not able to yell back to them. That's why, I feel like one of the really key tools like that you need to bring with you outdoors is a whistle, and it like seems like it's pretty like silly at first, but yeah, if you get dehydrated or your throat's just dry, your mouth is too dry, or like if it's sore, then yeah, you're not gonna really be able to yell. If you get hoarse from yelling too much, then you're not gonna be able to yell. And if you have a whistle, then that's much easier to blow on, and it's gonna carry further and shit.
Oh, I guess I should lay down some rules here, since this is a drinking show for me. Oh my gosh. Thomas, why? We just started. Okay, so I was going to say a $10 super chat is a shot of celery juice. For me, Ben is doing these juice cleanse challenge things, and he's got me roped into it. So $10, I do a celery shot. Now, any super chat over $5, I do a shot of my outer space vodka, which has the alien head.
Does that mean you have to do both?
Well, I think that you get a choice of which one I do if you do the $10 shot, but it's very clear that Wild World wants me to do the celery juice shot, which I don't blame him. So, Ben, if you want to deliver on that and bring that on in here, we will participate in that, and I will pull myself up full screen like this and do it. But I'll wait till you are in here. But I want to just for a second here, because I guess we didn't really get to it. Sumami's a true crime kind of buff. She does a lot of commentary on that. If you're around the neighborhood of those types of stories. My favorite true crime channel is That Chapter. I just like his voice, but.
I like John Lorden, because he gets very. He's like, in my opinion, the most respectful person. He doesn't just contact the families just to get some basic information. He brings them on. He has like a whole conversation with them, and allows them to speak. Like, it's much less, exploitative than I feel like a lot of true crime channels are.
Yeah. I think I hear him coming. Maybe. I have a shot glass. If we have a ton of shot glasses, though, mine's just alien shaped, but I try to be. We started off doing the show we started off with Charlatan's Web. We talked about the very first episode was about these two alleged vampire hunters in the UK, right? And then we talk about the Warrens. We've talked about Todd Standing, and we talked about Dr. Stephen Greer and the E5. We've bounced all over the place on different levels of grifting and different levels of charlatans, and how these people get control over their victims, and people still don't seem to understand. So I'm just going to keep rattling this drum.
No closure.
I feel like
No closure? No.
I feel like Paulides is like in the same class as like the psychic people that like rift off of like bereaved families, and like he's the same type of shit.
This is some Sylvia Brown shit right here. Exactly. We covered Sylvia Brown too. She was one of the charlatans we've covered already. And we said the same thing about her. That's the reason I'm bringing this to the forefront, because this is not healthy. This is not a healthy way to handle loss, grief. It's not a healthy way to handle an investigation for the family involved.
Help no assistance, no explanation.
What about Bigfoot?
That's another scenario that's been brought up hundreds and hundreds of times, and I would say that the issue with that one is the same with the others in that there's no tracks.
Very, very strange. Something very, very real.
What about Bigfoot? Should not be the topic in a missing persons case. There's a place and time for talking about what about Bigfoot, but it's not when someone's child has vanished, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few cases
happening
of
on the
missing
planet.
children that he's
David
gotten.
Paulides, of course.
The Dennis Martin case is the one that sucked me into missing 411 in the first place. You're familiar with that one? Little boy in the Smokies?
The little boy in the 70s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That allegedly people saw Bigfoot carrying him away, but the people who still, when you dig into the case of Dennis Martin, it doesn't really match up with what is claimed in missing 411. Like, you know, it was a person maybe wearing furs or that they claim, and then you look at the actual police report from the guy, and it wasn't even that. He was just like a disheveled-looking man. So,
Of course, is the researcher, author, and investigator. He started all this with his book, Missing 411, which dealt with people disappearing in our public park systems. They merely vanished. David, welcome. I'm glad you're still here.
Thanks, George. It's great to be here.
What was it about this subject that got you first involved in investigating it?
Years ago, I was doing some peripheral research in a national park. Noticed a couple park rangers following me around, which isn't that unusual.
Yeah.
And went back to my location off the park site, and these guys showed up independently. And they said they knew of me, and they had been looking into missing people at the various parks that they had worked at.
Okay.
And they realized that on the front end, when somebody goes missing, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of investigation. And then after about 7 or 8 days, everything stops. And when they tried to find out what happened to the victim and get more information, they were stymied, and they said something didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then subsequent to the disappearance, the follow-up investigation by
I'm still waiting on my celery shot.
special agents of the Park Service really never happened.
Weird.
Very strange. And they said, you know, somebody ought to be looking into this, because the people were disappearing in areas that they didn't think that would fit that normal mode, meaning that you and I say take our kids to the park and a child disappears in a valley area where there's a lot of activity. And we're not talking far back into the backcountry. A lot of these occur right in a populated area of the national park.
In front of other people.
Apparently. And
Gee.
That's very Dennis Martin case there. Do we have a kitty? Oh my gosh, hold on. Hello, Buddy Bean. Hello. Let's see those toe beans. Where's some toe beans? Oh, look at those eyes.
Yes, if I pick her feet up. Ooh.
Oh boy. She's gotten so big.
She's a big girl now.
I like her pink beans though. They're so cute.
CJ, what are you doing with me? You baby.
Such a cutie boy. Kitties always win.
as we can logically assume, when people go into the backcountry, things happen, and those disappearances occur as well. But it's those valley disappearances that got my interest right away. And of course, your mind may go immediately to, well, it's some kind of person-to-person involvement,
Right.
maybe a
Some
human.
sicko out there or something.
Right. But when you get into the numbers,
I mean, there are serial killers, and serial killers have stalked people in parks for decades. Individuals. Was the Green River Killer was kind of his thing, wasn't it?
I would say that there are some areas that count as national park property that serial killers have dumped bodies on. I guess there have been, I'd say Israel Keys is maybe the only one that really, I would really count as somebody that really, utilized national parks, as part of his profile as, a perpetrator. But I think it's more often than not, it's just these are heavily wooded areas. They're fucking. It's somewhere where I'm gonna say like anybody would choose a place like that to bury a body. But yeah, like I feel like it's kind of a natural place for somebody to just try to dump a body. Is out in the fucking the woods, out in the national parks where it's miles and miles and miles and miles of nothing.
Yeah. All right, Sumami can't hear Ben, but Ben's here. Say hi to Sumami, Ben.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, we're gonna do what? We're gonna do the celery shot now.
Here, I'm gonna show it off so they know. Hold on. Oh, it's hard to see.
Yeah,
But
that light's
that's what it looks like.
a little intense.
Celery juice. Yeah.
We got
That's
these
a
little.
whole
We got
drink.
red
That's why-
Solo.
That's why I had to show it off so that they don't think that we're hiding what we're doing.
I'm not looking forward to this though. This one.
Oh, it's nasty.
Look
Look at how swampy that is.
It looks like swamp water. Literally like I'm drinking swamp water. Thank you, Thomas, for the swamp water.
You can have the rest of that as you need to, since it's open.
Are you gonna chase it with anything?
Am I gonna chase? I have a monster here. Ben has nothing. Ben has nothing to chase.
I've been doing Bloom every day, and I've got 4 more days of Bloom, so it's not worse than what I'm already doing every day.
All right. Yeah, here's to Wild World. Oh, that's bad.
Well, the rest of it here, if you want to keep the glass, because the rest of that's yours
Oh.
if you get super chats.
Oh yeah. I got. Yeah, if you
Got
get
more. Got more. $10 a pop. Brady
Yeah.
will do it.
There's a
$10.
bunch in there.
It's like
Yeah.
if Thanksgiving was a drink.
I'll jump back inside and have fun.
Thank you, Ben. All right.
What do you mean, like a green bean casserole?
It tastes like stuffing, gravy, and wine.
Ugh.
That's the Thanksgiving. Yeah, all mixed together at one. Oh, I haven't chased it yet. I need to chase it. I was gonna let it linger to see actually what it tastes like and be honest about it. Oh.
Ugh.
Now, if you
I didn't
go
even
on the
drink it, and it's
medical
making me squirm.
medium, who me and Ben covered a couple weeks ago on the Charlatan's Web episode, that he recommends drinking I think it's 28 ounces or something of this daily.
Oh man, you just be fucking shitting green.
Yeah, it's bad. Cheers. Yeah.
Ugh.
When you start to vet the cases, you realize that something more is going on than what's readily apparent.
David, of the missing people, we'll get into a lot of cases tonight. How many never show up where they don't, for example, find the bodies? They're just gone. What's that percent?
It's probably close to 50, maybe 60%.
Just never show up.
Massive.
If someone wants to buy me a vodka shot to chase that down with their $5, yeah, that would be dandy to have that in my throat instead of it's cheap. They're cheaper too. Vodka shots are cheaper.
$5 to put something in Bree's throat.
Yeah, that's just that's a good rule of thumb. Am I having a reaction to the celery juice, or is David Paulides blurry?
Blurry.
Searches, hundreds
Drunk off
of
that
people,
celery juice.
air, ground, dogs, and they can't.
Thank you, PC. Yeah, that's the medical medium link. He was nutty, and Ben tore him apart. That's the second time Ben tore him apart, too. You wanted to also see Ben tear him apart on Medical Myths, which is Ben's show, which is back, by the way. And he's covering the Tylenol thing here after the show. And he just talked about measles the other day, so I'm glad he's back doing his thing. It's nice to see. We've missed you, Dr. Ben.
Find the people. When I first started this, I filed a series of Freedom of Information Act requests against the National Park Service, asking them for their lists of missing people.
There we go. There we go. We got a... I didn't mean to do that. Yikes. We got a $5 super chat. Dang. Thomas is funding the stream tonight.
5-0.
Thank you, babe. What's your next video? We can give you a shout out while you're in the side chat too. Like to pay it forward. I know your channel is like way more successful than mine, but I still give you some props. So go over and check out Wild World. Does videos, a lot of the stuff that I've covered too, like animal stuff. We both talk about like giant animals because I do those on CrypticCorner. Thomas was also on the episode that I did, 90 Years of Nessie with Don Prothero. Good times. All right. Alien vodka shot. Chased with guava monster. Hell yeah. There's the plug. Thank you, PC. And I am sort of a vodka girl, so.
Oh, really? I'm a whiskey girl. The rare times that I drink champagne or whiskey.
Vodka, and I like rum. Mostly. I'll drink other stuff. I do like the warmness of a whiskey, but it has to be the right configuration. We've been making these peanut butter and jelly shots, which is it's a blackberry blackberry Seagram. I don't remember. I'll have to look. Let's keep going though. We'll never get through this video.
And George, if you and I walked into any medium-sized police department in the United States and asked the chief for a list of missing people in his jurisdiction or her jurisdiction,
We'd get it. We'd get it.
Within an hour.
Yeah.
He'd have it, or she'd have it on her desk. National Park Service says they don't keep track of it.
I don't think that's true. I think I guess they're talking as journalists and investigators. So like as a common person off the street, I don't think you can just walk in and request that. You have to have
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure most like decent sized police departments maintain like a list available on like their website in case anybody has any information to come forward with. And there's the true crime community. There's like a lot of people that will spend their time updating, or not updating, but requesting, oh my god, my Sailor Moon thing, requesting police departments to add people to what's it called, what's that list? There's like the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children list, and then there's, I forget what the other one is that encompasses adults as well. But yeah, there's usually
there's private groups for specific cases too that you can find on Facebook. If you find you go look up missing persons names on like you Google them, you'll find a lot of Facebook groups that are dedicated to archiving the case, right?
Yeah, they're usually run by like the family members of the person.
Yeah.
Those Facebook groups get crazy though, like because it's run by a family member or like a very close friend or somebody like that, and like there's a lot of local people that will follow those groups or those pages, and then there's like not just conversation about the case, but accusations start getting thrown around and rumors, and like I don't even, girl, I love drama and I love arguing. I don't even join those Facebook groups. I'll like watch from the outside every once in a while and like peek. Oh, what are they talking about in there? Oh my goodness.
And that's the thing about the missing 411 thing. Imagine your family member goes missing and you're trying to like spread the word about it and get their picture out there, get their situation out there so people know. And then freaking next thing you know, good old David Paulides puts them in the missing 411 books, and all of a sudden they were taken by Sasquatch, and your group that you're running to try to help find them is overrun with people who are insisting that Bigfoot stole your family member, right? That's gotta...
That, and then the whole like narrative around like what even happened starts to get muddied, and like
Oh, family
it's a
members get
whole-
accused first too, so that makes it a problem as well. But David Paulides is going to insist it was teleporting, shape-shifting alien Sasquatch. I don't know.
Information.
They don't keep track of people disappearing in their parks.
They
That's
say.
bizarre.
I would agree.
I would think that there's some clandestine operation tracking all this right now, and they're perplexed.
Well, I've talked to some of the best investigative journalists in the United States, and they said they're outright lying to you.
Yes.
They have a list of missing people.
They've got to. In your opinion, David, how many people are missing just from the park systems alone?
Well, that's tough because they won't tell us.
And we don't know how far back to go, right? 1700s, 1800s?
Well, just in our research, I have cases
Thanks for coming, Helen.
going back. There's 9 countries that we've documented these incidents in
All right.
that fit this profile.
Same profile.
And in those 9 countries, we have one case that goes all the way back to 1768 in France.
Huh. If you had to guess, though, speculate on how many total people we're talking about disappearing.
So we've documented right now in our books about 1,100.
1,100 people
Right.
since this first episode to where we are today. And they continue. This bizarre case, now this guy was found, but the Toronto firefighter who went skiing in New York disappeared for God knows how long and ended up in California, 2,500 miles away, still in his ski outfit, and has no idea how he got there.
Bro had a haircut too, though. It's I think this is more of a. That case was more of a. How to put this? I'm kind of suspicious about a lot of the factors surrounding that case. Like, it almost sounds like a person like running away and then getting to a point where they could no longer feasibly sustain their new runaway life. So they put their ski uniform they disappeared in back on and said, "Oh, I disappeared."
I think
But-
there's a lot of cases of like, I have amnesia. I don't know what happened, where I was for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, the fugue state, yes. Use the Walter White defense. I was in a fugue state. I don't know what happened.
Something happened to this guy.
So he's out skiing in the area of Lake Placid with his friends from Toronto. He's a captain in the Toronto Fire Department.
He's not fooling around here.
Well, and I don't think people understand.
See, they like to punctuate how manly these people were. They were too manly to be taken by nature. A manly man like that, you know, they can't be.
That and they're so those jobs that are like cop or fireman or like anything like that. It's so like it's not just you're such a rugged individual. It's like you carry authority even when you're not on the job or even when you've retired. You're still that hero. Like, it's like, oh my god, like, get a grip. Anybody can fucking like walk off the trail to pee and fucking sprain their ankle and get fucked real quick, you know? Like,
Is there too many ads? Hunter, I can adjust that on my end if it's coming. They're coming in too heavy. I'm freaking broke right now, so I'm trying to make money. I'll be blunt with you. So, good grief. I'm sorry if that's happening. I can readjust it for the next stream if it's too much.
Understand that when you become a policeman or a fireman, you go through psychological testing.
Absolutely.
So
Oh, please. Oh, please. Talking about how mentally sound police officers, you're not going to get away with that on this channel. They're the most unstable portion of the population, not firemen necessarily. I come from a family of firemen, but no, you're not gonna convince me that police officers are an especially mentally sound portion of the population.
person,
they have like the highest
especially
rates
being
of,
a
like,
captain.
violence,
Domestic
job-related
violence,
suicide,
yeah.
all types of shit.
Spousal abuse, alcoholism, all kinds of stuff. And not saying that there aren't factors that of stresses they deal with that can lead to that behavior, but that's also a problem with our system because you have police out there dealing with stuff that they really shouldn't be the ones that go out on call to. Someone like a social worker or something should be out there doing that. But I digress.
The thought of him being mentally unstable? I don't think so.
No.
And
or playing a game on his family? No.
I don't think so. So the real interesting part of that story is that
I want to take note of this down here in the corner here. That this is brought to us by Gaia. Do y'all know who Gaia is?
I fucking hate that fucking. It's not a network. I guess it's like a whole corporation, isn't it?
Yeah, and now I'm actually kind of concerned that they're going to try to yoink me on this or try to steal my revenue from this, which I will fight because I won my fight against, I don't know if you saw that or not, I won my fight against Todd Standing, who said I couldn't review his documentary. You bet your ass I won that dispute. So if Gaia wants to come at me. I actually have I have respect for George Norrie, and I have respect for Art Bell as host of these things. I think George Norrie's a little more problematic than Art was, but at the very least, they would present this. Huh? Norrie's more
problematic than Art Bell.
Norrie's in like the Joe Rogan sort of sphere lately. He's really getting. But Art Bell's dead. He died before he saw himself become the villain, I guess, is the thing. Yes, I won against Todd. Yes, he strikes everyone, and I won. It was freaking bam, bam. Take that, Todd. It's worth celebrating, right? But I'm not celebrating with celery juice, so do not send a $10 super chat to make me drink any more of this. Do not.
So the real interesting part of that story is that I've written about people who were skiing who disappeared on the slopes. Some were never found. Some were found later, months and months later, under really unusual conditions. So I think there's a lot of questions. I know he was interviewed by the New York State Police.
It doesn't really surprise me that that skiers disappear on the slopes. Does that surprise you? Have you ever been skiing?
It's almost like, people can fall into tree wells or, trigger an avalanche and get fucking buried by snow.
No.
Like so many other things.
And maybe one of their skis gets pulled off and thrown downstream, a couple of miles, and they're like, oh, the ski was found here, but they were found here. Oh my gosh, that means Bigfoot.
Yeah, because the ski will just keep going.
And like when someone gets buried by an avalanche, generally you don't find them till the next spring, or even into the summer.
More like it can be years.
Yeah,
years later.
That's true. Yeah. What incident that comes to mind is the Dyatlov Pass, though.
Dyatlov?
Huh?
The Dyatlov Pass?
Yeah, Dyatlov Pass. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was definitely an avalanche. Don't even get me started on that one.
No, I'm gonna get you started about that. I like that.
Huh?
I like how this episode is also starring Sumami's boobs. Oh, it was. Now you dropped back down. No, I stand boobs. Actually I'm not very boobalicious today in this top, but I like the pattern on it, this tie-dye kind of pattern, but yeah.
They haven't released anything really about that interview. And I know he's back in Canada now. I would love to talk to him. And I'd love to regress his hypnosis.
Oh my God. I mean, did he get picked up by a trucker who was kind enough to take him somewhere? But I mean, what do you tell the trucker? Hi, I'm in my ski outfit. I need to go to California. And does he have money on him? Does he eat? It's weird.
Well, one of the interesting parts of
I think he had, again, this is my speculation. I don't want to say this is an official. He had somebody he was like with, right? Somebody he met up with and left with and started to, and then again, I can't stress enough how this is my personal interpretation of the narrative, but the dude was 2,500 miles away from where he disappeared at. He was clean shaved, had a new haircut, but he was in the same uniform that he disappeared in. He ran away with somebody. That's my thoughts on it. Are you familiar with this case at all, Sue?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, tell me when one of these cases comes up that's one of your passion cases, because I'd love to let you rant.
these 1,100 cases, many of them where the victim is found, they have head injuries that have caused death.
Right.
And in his incident, he told the press that he thought he had some type of head injury.
Yes.
So, like you said, they find him with his ski helmet.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Like I have amnesia. I can't remember where I was or who I was with.
It's like you either have a head injury or you don't. And like, I don't care what the guy thought. Like, what is it? What does that even mean? Like, well, he thought he had a head injury.
I can be like that right now. I can say, hey, I thought I had a head injury.
In same clothing. And then the real odd thing to me is he said somewhere along the line he had a haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Strange. I remember you told me once on Coast to Coast, the radio show, that in some cases when these people are disappeared, it could be weeks, could be months, and that in some cases they're found and the clothes are clean. No mud, no nothing. If you're in the wilderness for a couple...
And that's the weird thing, too, is he presents this as the missing 411 as like a cluster of similar things that are associated with the disappearance. Like, oh, they're near running water. They're found in a place that was already searched before. There's, when you get to the Appalachians, it's always like, oh, there were berries or an orchard nearby. Things like that. They're found in a boulder field. They're clothes are found, but they're not found. Things like that come up, but when you look into the cases, usually these cases only have two. Each case only has two, maybe three of these characteristics, and they're just all tied together. Like the case they're talking about, the skier that disappeared and reappeared across the country, all clean shaved and haircut and everything, is a very different case than the kid who disappears for 2 days into the woods behind their house and comes back telling stories about living with a bear. And that's a whole different scenario. It's presented as the same type of situation. I'm sorry, what was that,
babe? These cases where people are, their clothes are clean and they clearly have not spent 2 weeks in the woods. Like, it's like, yeah, because they didn't spend 2 weeks in the woods. Like, they may have told somebody that they were going on a hike. They may have gone for a hike the day that they went missing, but like, maybe they even purposely tried to make it seem like they went missing in the woods for whatever reason. But like, some of these people, like, yeah, I do think that they go missing, like, on their own volition, and they either are spending time with somebody that maybe, their family does not approve of, maybe they just meet up with somebody along the way, because, they're out on their own by themselves or whatever, because they have a stressful incident, or their anxiety is too much. I think there's like quite a few cases like that get swept up as missing.
Sometimes you meet somebody really hot on the hiking trail and you want to go get a hotel with them for a couple of days and you don't want to tell your wife about it. I mean,
now listen, if that's my husband, he better stay gone.
Well, and then you got to explain, at that point, you can't go back on it because she's got helicopters out looking for you now. So,
I'd be out there looking myself.
Months. You're going to be dirty and you're going to have dirt everywhere. How could it be so pristine?
What do these people think happens when you're in the woods? Like, I spent weekends in the woods and I was not like had dirt everywhere. You fighting wild boars or what?
I mean, like, what do we mean dirty though? Are we talking about like covered in mud or just like nasty, like stanky dirty from like, not showering?
I
Like,
think Arnold Schwarzenegger covered with mud to hide from the predator. That's what I think.
It's like somebody washed their clothes.
So I'm betting that there's even more to this. It's evident
We're
when
not even 10 minutes into this video. Holy shit, girl.
a searcher finds you if your clothes are really clean. But they never mention the body itself. One of the things I write about in the books is a lot of times if the person's found alive and they get to a hospital, the notes in the hospital is that there's a small fever associated with that person.
Fever, something. Bruises.
No, very
Something.
rare bruises.
Yeah.
But a small fever is evident. They never say, and many times you don't get to see the medical report, I would like to know if the body was clean as well.
Like the clothes.
Like the clothes. So if the clothes are clean and the body's clean, you really have something odd going on.
Right.
And
Again, it's like we just talked about. It's because they weren't really in the woods all that time. But it's an important part of the narrative.
that and like doesn't like I mean, can't you if you've been starving and like lacking proper hydration and nutrition for like multiple days, like if you were actually out lost in the woods, wouldn't it be pretty common for you to be like running a fever? I'm no doctor.
Well, and I'm going to say that the Ember's making a good point about having mud caked on you will also keep the mosquitoes away if it's the summertime. And I complain about these people like taking their clothes off and folding it. If you get wet in the wilderness, yeah, you do want to go ahead and take off your clothes, and you don't need to worry about your modesty. Just take off your clothes and lay them out somewhere where they can dry. And that's what they find a lot is like, oh, well, we found this person's clothes and shoes and stuff all laid out neatly and on a log. It's very bizarre. No, that's what people do when they get wet.
That, or if it's cold, I think people paradoxically undress sometimes.
Yeah. That's paradox. You want to explain that? Actually, let me give you the floor. Explain paradoxical undressing.
I'm not
And
the one that's a
demonstrate
doctor
it
here.
too. I need that. But you got to keep some stuff covered
I'm
up.
not the one that's a doctor here.
I don't have Ben in here. I have you. What's paradoxical undressing? It's a hypothermic reaction,
when
right?
you-
I won't put you on the spot. I didn't mean.
Yeah, it's when you get hypothermia and you fucking strip your clothes off, which obviously seems contrary to being cold and freezing, but it's because your core heats up, right?
Yeah, like you think you're hot, so you're like trying to cool off because your core temperatures, your body's pushing your core temperature up on the inside. Not that it's doing any good for your outside, but you'll strip off your clothes because you think you're hot because your nerve cells on the surface are too cold to be active at all.
Well, it's still odd if the clothes is clean and the body isn't clean. I mean, because
Would agree.
I mean, the clothes has got to get dirty before the body, I would think.
you would think so. This case is in my latest book because it is extremely different than a standard disappearance. Carl Dish worked right down the road.
From here?
From here, at Boulder Labs in Colorado.
Wow.
He grew up in Wisconsin, was a star football player, super intellect,
Athletic.
very. And he
Here they go again. They got to glaze his masculinity. Like he was too much of a man to disappear in the wilderness.
became a physicist, which is one of the key points in my books. I've documented.
And really smart people can disappear and perish in the wilderness too. It's not.
Is this about to be about his intelligence, or is he about to try to like imply that there's some government connection, that he was disappeared by the government?
I think mostly it's Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot working for the government, though, is the question at this point.
Yes.
It's a big Agent Sasquatch, Agent Squatch. I'm gonna start
Agent Foot.
Yeah, I'm Agent Foot. I'm gonna start a comic book series, Agent Foot.
Several cases of physicists who had disappeared.
And his ancestry, does that?
German.
All right.
Which is another key point. Many German physicists have disappeared.
Really?
And I'm not talking about,
Have you looked in Argentina?
I thought he was about to go down the Untermensch fucking
The
where are you
Vonderman.
going with this? Well, he was German, so of course those Germans, he couldn't have possibly gone missing.
Yeah.
Those Germans are the master race. That's what I was
master
expecting it to
race.
be, some implication like that. Some shit.
They voluntarily, no, they all fit this scenario we're going to talk about. So Dish gets hired. In February, he gets sent to the Bird Ice Station. And he brings his dog with him. And he's an ionospheric physicist. And he works at a lab set up from the main station about 7,000 feet away. And on May 8th, 1965, he's working at this station. There's a blizzard going on, big one. And between the two locations, they have a rope that's strung. So as you're walking, even in a blizzard,
You're holding on, you know how to get to the other side.
you're not going to get lost.
Yeah.
So he leaves in the morning hours, and they wait and wait and wait. And after an hour and a half, two guys go out and they look for him. Can't find him. So
He was drug away by a polar bear. That's my thoughts.
they call everybody together, and they get in their big winter suits, and they get out their tractors and their snow buggies, and they're looking for him.
Yeah. I'd say the guy had a heart attack. He's in the snow somewhere, right?
Of course, yeah. And he's made this trip hundreds of times. It's not like he's going to get lost.
Right.
So they search for him for a week. They find nothing. And
That's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I want to go there. Can we go there, Sue? Will you take me here? We'll go here on our honeymoon.
Only if you're gonna climb with me.
Yeah, I'll climb. I gotta get in shape though. Give me a couple months in the gym first.
he had called his parents in the weeks before. He said everything was great, no problem. He's learning a lot. He's enjoying this experience. So during that week period of time, they called for more assistance from other people at other nearby stations. They find nothing. And they brought in dogs, and they thought even his own dog, if they brought it out, would find him.
Sure.
Right. Nothing. Now, since the time Dish disappeared, there's been less.
Do not trust my dog to find me if I go missing.
My dog can't find herself.
Yeah.
and less ice at the ice station in that area. His body's never been found. Now, when we did the research on this, one of the unusual things in one of the articles in one of the newspapers is that people at the ice station.
Yes, Ember points out fairy rings are also one of the telltale signs of a missing 411 case.
Had reported in the days while they were searching a humming sound and strange lights in the sky.
Oh boy.
UFO time. Yeah, I actually put spook lights on the polls for this coming week's Cryptic Corner. So if you want to see spook lights, you got to go out and vote for those. There's also what's on there: Men in Black, Goat Man, and Thunder Crows. So you get to go vote if you want to participate in that. You can go vote on which one you want to see on next week's Cryptic Corner. But spook lights are on there.
Crows always.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about this.
Yeah.
Well, then the head of the Bird Ice Station came out and said, hey, that's a lie. This has never happened. The people aren't telling the truth. And I thought it was strange how hard they came out to deny that aspect.
Yeah.
Now, Dish was...
Don't you love when the evidence is that the officials deny the rumor? That's suspicious. I need that's suspicious. That's weird.
Never found.
To this day, never found?
None of his equipment's been found. None of his boots. A very strange disappearance.
And how far in that region, in a blizzard, would somebody go? Not far.
I don't think you could go far.
No. That's what's even stranger.
Well,
You don't need to go very far to get lost.
Yeah. Once you're lost, you're lost.
I swear I've heard a similar story about trying to follow like a line between like one building and another building, except I could have sworn it was in relation to like the Dust Bowl in the 30s, but I can't remember
Where was
exactly. I can't remember exactly where it was. I think it was supposed to be in the Dust Bowl, but
yeah.
that's what it made me think of. And like, yeah, I think it would be pretty fucking easy. Like, first off, if the storms are so bad in this area that there even needs to be a line set up between the buildings for people to fucking follow, I'm gonna guess it's pretty fucking easy to fucking get lost out there.
Right. There's a reason there's a line.
Start walking in, like accidentally start walking in the wrong direction and not basically just get lost. Like,
well, and yeah, if you want me to get lost, you can buy me an alien shot for $5 super chat. $5 alien shot. $10 you can force me to drink this. I just took a drink of it. It's like Thanksgiving vomit in a bottle. So if you want me to take a shot of that, I will too. So
that made me think of a terrible story.
That's $10. Oh, don't tell your terrible story when I'm going to be drinking the Thanksgiving vomit.
I write, many times somebody disappears with their dog. And sometimes the dog comes back and sometimes it doesn't. In this incident, weeks after Dish disappeared, his dog disappeared and was never found. I think that's odd.
I'm not sure I would want to take my family through a national park.
Yeah, his dog disappeared later. Maybe he came back to get his dog.
Wasn't with him?
Maybe him and his new girlfriend pulled up in front of the house. He opened the door and he said, "Hey, Scout, come here, boy." Scout jumped in the car and they drove away.
I'm gonna guess it was just a coincidence that the dog also happened to go missing weeks after, which is not really that much of a coincidence. It wasn't like the dog went missing the same day.
This is a mystery too, how they went from sitting in two chairs on a stage across from each other to now Nori's in at a desk and Paulides is in a guest chair right next to him. It's a mystery.
After talking to you and reading Missing 411.
You know, George, one of the things I do when I talk to groups is I tell them I'm a big advocate of the national park system. I go all the time, but there's a couple things I won't do. I won't go alone. I always carry a personal transponder. And if you're taking kids, keep your kids in front of you and always keep them in sight.
Eloise, Lindsay.
This is good advice, though. And carrying a tracker or a beacon with you when you go out hiking can save your life. But making sure people know who you...
Those personal locator beacons are expensive, though.
Oh my gosh, Thomas again coming out with the... Yeah, I'm going to take the vodka shot if you give me a choice, because this is rough. You got to request this specifically for me to take it. If you give me an option to not take it and to drink to drink something else, I'm going to take it. And then I'm going to go missing 411 and be lit. I should have sent you some Thanksgiving vomit to drink, Sumami, so that you could participate. Would you drink celery juice?
Hell no. I prefer to get my greens in another form.
Oh boy, now I got 2 shots to catch up on. Holy crap. Alright, here we go. Kelly, I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes for your shot. We'll let this one settle first. Woo!
Page.
That is one of the more unusual stories along the Appalachian Trail in South Carolina. She was in Table Rock State Park. And I've written a lot about the Appalachian Trail. There's a lot of really unusual things that have happened there and a lot of strange disappearances all along there. She was an older lady, I think she was in her early 20s, going to do a hike of 43 miles. And
Wait,
she
what?
was well prepared, lots of experience.
What was that?
It sounded like he said she was an older lady around her early 20s.
That's what I thought I heard too. Okay, it wasn't just me. Okay, we're going to turn on the closed caption. And we're going to back this shit up.
Yeah, an older lady. I think she was in her early 20s.
She was an older lady, I think she was in her early 20s, going to do a hike of 43 miles. And she was
What?
well prepared, lots of experience.
That is a
43
perfect
miles?
That is a perfect David Paulides right there, is it not? For him to say, an older lady in her early 20s, just throwing out. Oh my
She was
gosh.
going to go on a 43-mile hike? That is a fucking absurd distance. Like, unless
Right.
this was supposed to be like a...
The Inca Trail's only 26 miles, and that's like a
like-
world-renowned long, treacherous trail. This woman's walking. I know. No, Appalachian Trail's a lot longer, right?
I'm not sure exactly how long.
How long is the Appalachian Trail? Y'all can tell me in the side chat. I got tons of people here who can look it up.
She was going to get picked
I
up.
think they like the shot of this woman's ass because they keep cutting back to it.
I think 7 to 8 days after her drop-off point. Well, she wasn't there for the pickup point. Her story is that about 3 days into it, there were a series of men that were following her and harassing her on the trail. Now, when you just take it at that
it's like
point,
2,000 miles.
maybe it's happened.
Maybe.
That happens when I walk to the freaking market that's 4 blocks away. Men fucking harass me. Do you get harassed when you walk?
Yeah, all the time, and it's makes me want to stab people.
Yeah, because I know you
Leave
walk
me
to
alone.
you walk to get your smokes and stuff. You tell me sometimes, "Oh, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to get my cigarettes and stuff." And I can't imagine that I get harassed and you don't, since you're like freaking super hot and I'm kind of derpy looking. But the boys, they love it. They honk and scream and act like jackasses. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this woman would get harassed out hiking by a troop of bro dudes. Hopefully they didn't go all I spit on your grave on her. Cause,
Oh, that's a good movie.
yeah. Yeah, she gets her vengeance in that movie for sure.
This went on for days. And eventually, 14, 18 days, a hunter finds her cowering in the woods.
Cowering. She's alive.
Alive. They bring her out, and she tells this story that these men followed her, harassed her. She dumped her backpack. She got rid of everything. And then she was eventually went to the hospital. The interesting part of the story to me isn't what she said, because she never explained exactly what she saw.
She did. You just don't want to acknowledge it. I've watched a couple of videos debunking his nonsense, and she did say what she saw. She was harassed by men while she was hiking in the woods. She got scared. She panicked. She dumped her stuff so she could run faster and get away from them. Got lost. Had a little bit of a mental breakdown. When she heard rescuers, she thought it was those same men out trying to find her, and hid from the rescuers for days.
But when her mom was interviewed, her mom said, "I'm not sure what really happened to my daughter in the woods, and I don't really know for sure what my daughter saw in the woods."
Huh. Like she was not accepting the story of the men?
Or her daughter obviously wasn't comfortable in telling.
Fucking believe women, motherfuckers.
More like she may. It sounds like he's such a piece of human shit. More like it sounds like she may have actually possibly experienced an assault, and that may be what happened with the fucking like disassociating and not completely remembering what happened. Maybe it wasn't that she panicked because she got lost. Maybe, yeah, like I would think that's why her mother may have said something like that. You know, like he's such a piece of shit human. I hate him so much.
All right, here's Kelly's shot. Knocking it back now. This one's for the atheist queen of Detroit.
All I can do is hit my bowl.
Have you met Kelly yet, Sumami? She's kind of newer in my circle. I met her in Austin when I was out there, but good people.
Well, digitally met, but
Yeah. Yeah, she does Java and Jugs. I see you in the side chat sometimes on Embers. I think we have Ember in the side chat too. We have Maya in the side chat. Maya just showed up. Hey, babe. Yeah, and I don't have any doubt at all that this woman was harassed by men in the woods and she ran from them because I get harassed. And
even if an actual assault didn't occur, just fucking being a fucking woman alone out in the fucking woods and having fucking a bunch of dumbass motherfuckers start hooting and hollering and like making you even feel like that. Like, yeah, I could very easily see almost any fucking woman freaking out and fucking running off like that.
especially if they're on the trail following behind you, talking about your ass.
And this
Which
is why
they
we
were.
chase the bear.
If you read the actual interviews, which they pulled up, Lore Lodge pulled up on the screen, yeah, they were like talking about her butt and shit. That's what they were saying. So you get that Deliverance vibe and you feel like you have to escape. We all seen what happened to Warren Beatty. We don't want that to happen to us. We don't want to squeal like a pig for some bro dudes in the woods. Run.
This is why we choose the bear.
This is why we choose bear.
Telling the whole story. But that scenario of the men along the Appalachian Trail, there's been many disappearances there over the years where people are just never found. There's a woman named Geraldine Largay that was in Maine that was walking the entire Appalachian Trail, and every day or every 2 days her husband would resupply her. She was 66 years old, I think, maybe a little older. Phenomenal shape. She'd call her husband all the time.
Found?
One day didn't call.
Not found alive, but didn't they finally find her body? Oh my god!
Didn't she have? Isn't this like what we were talking about earlier? She had like a heart attack or something. Or they think she had a heart attack or stroke and fell off the trail.
Yes. I immediately recognized her picture. Yeah, she literally got lost like a few feet off the fucking trail, man. That's exactly what the fuck happened. This woman was very fucking experienced, very fucking fit for her age, and yeah, that's exactly what fucking happened. I remember this.
Was it a stroke?
No, she survived 26 days before dying. I don't want to click Guardian. But...
Oh, she succumbed to exposure.
Sorry, man.
26 days in the wilderness. Damn.
Massive search. Maine Warden Service threw everything at that search, and even the wardens said they couldn't believe they didn't find anything of her. Still never been found. That was a real troubling one. But every once in a while.
So I do want to reemphasize that when you go out hiking, a beacon is a good idea. Obviously carrying a whistle. Sometimes when you can't scream because you don't have any vocal power left from screaming for help for so long, a whistle's better because you just blow. Bear spray or pepper spray in case you do get harassed by men or bears. More likely men, but you can bear spray a man too. I promise it'll work if you bear spray a man. I think it's actually probably preferable to bear spray a man than to pepper spray him. I think it keeps, because bear spray has a lot more range than pepper spray.
While something very, very bizarre and strange happens and these people disappear and aren't found. And I'm not talking just on very rural trails. I'm talking about...
Artemis, is it your first time here? I don't know if I've seen you before. Are you the person that commented on Facebook about coming in? Yeah. And don't make me any mistake, me and Sumami we were missing 411 fans too before we kind of started looking into Lore Lodge and some missing enigmas take on David Paulides' coverage. And those are great channels. If you like Missing 411, go check out the Lore Lodge. Go check out Missing Enigmas. Both those channels are great. Go ahead, Sue. Sorry.
I was never a Missing 411 fan. Never.
Never? I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Sorry, didn't mean to speak for you, Sue.
Some of the main trails inside the park. There's a man named George Pinka disappeared on one of the biggest trails in Yosemite 2 years ago. And I know some of the people that were involved with that, and they said there's no way that guy could have disappeared. He was a robust man, not in terrific shape. He wasn't going to go anywhere off the trail. He vanished, and to this day, they've never found him.
But you would...
He was a robust man, though. A man's man.
think that you would hear screams, yells, help me. None of that.
No. Every once in a while there'll be a small shriek, but again, a lot of times it can't be attributed directly to the victim. It's just something that happens.
A small shriek would be a hell of a cool band name, though.
There are some cases that I've heard of where there are descriptions of somebody, hearing somebody like yelling out there, but that's the thing is like this is a lot of fucking space to cover to search, and what's the guy's name that there's one guy that went missing, I think he was in California, and he wasn't like out hiking, I don't think. I think he was just like he had gotten off of work or something and like was out, like had clearly had like parked his car and was like fucking doing like a little mini hike or something in this little area in fucking California, and he clearly like must have fallen, like slid down the fucking like side of the fucking the hills or whatever, and like was calling for help, and like people could hear him. They never found him, I don't think. And, like this is like I don't think people understand how much space that is to fucking search. Like yeah, we understand how big like national parks are, but it's a lot.
I think people underestimate how big national parks are, honestly. And that inconsistency of Paulides of his clusters, they can be anywhere from like a 50-mile circle to 350-mile circle. That he's like, oh, this is a cluster. Yeah, if you expand the borders far enough, it's a cluster. It was the same amount of people in a 300-mile area and a 500-mile area. Within a 50-mile area and a 300-mile area. I mean, one of those is a cluster, and one of them might not be.
In conjunction with the disappearance, and sometimes it's not even in that exact area that they believed that their son or daughter was in. So I'm not even sure if it's related, but they report it sometimes.
Does this story scare you? I mean, you've been uncovering it for a number of years now.
So I can say that my own behavior has changed just a little. Like I will not go in the woods alone.
Because of this story that you've been uncovering?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean,
that's just safety.
That's good safety. Don't go in the lake alone either. Don't swim alone. Don't hike alone. Don't kayak alone. All good advice. And I do all those things alone, just so you know.
Yeah, I definitely hike alone.
Yeah, I hike alone, I swim alone, I kayak alone, but do not do that, because you will disappear and become missing 411. I will not. I'm the main character, so don't worry about me. But you, not you, Tsunami, but the audience watching at home. Yeah, me and Tsunami are main character, though. We got main character energy, right? We can't disappear into the wilderness.
I will always carry a personal transponder, and I tell people, I don't care who you are, and I know Les Stroud, Survivor Man, personally, and I don't think he would go into the woods without a personal transponder. So I can say that it's a foolish thing.
I will tell you
not
right
to do
now,
that. If you,
when we watched the Todd Standing video, Les Stroud came up, and I would not trust Les Stroud any further than I can throw him. So, but the fact that he goes out without a transponder does speak for itself, though. How do you feel about Les Stroud, Sumami? Survivor Man.
I mean, I think his show was entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a little more entertaining than Bear Grylls, but
can't
just 'cause
afford
he
one.
made it look like he
Almost
by
every
himself.
Do you think he was a big faker?
I wouldn't entirely say a faker. Like, Bear Grylls kind of, like, really tried to make it seem like, I'm gonna be out here surviving and blah, 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 blah. But, like, really, he was, like, eating, like, pancakes in a bed and breakfast. Like, I wouldn't say, like, Stroud is entirely a faker, but I definitely think that he was probably much closer to civilization than, like, the production, like, let on most of the time. Like, much, much closer, probably.
No. He's no Grizzly Man, though. Grizzly Man lived and died by, yeah, I'm going to go out here and live like a freaking Neanderthal.
sporting goods outdoor store will rent one to you for $5 to $10 a day.
That's smart.
So carry that. And always tell a close friend where you're going to go in, when you're going to come out, and if you're not out by a certain day, you tell them. A lot of the time.
No, I do that. I do that when I hike alone. I haven't hiked in years, though. I need to get back out. Where do you hike at in Florida? I don't feel like Florida's the best place for hiking.
Yeah. I don't really like to hike here. Like, I mean, I definitely have. It's just gonna be
like in the Sugarloafs or what?
Just anywhere. I don't know. I don't really like.
Oh, I'm asking you to dox yourself. Hey, Sumami, tell creeps where to find you walking alone.
No, I don't really like fucking hike here like that. Like, Florida's disgusting. Florida's disgusting weather. It's gross.
I do like hiking. My favorite place to hike that I've ever been was the Smoky Mountains. Like, by far, that was my favorite hike.
It's the hunters that disappeared. They're always alone. But more hunters on bow hunting side of the fence than the firearm side of the fence disappear. Meaning, for some reason, bow hunting seems to be a more dangerous thing to do. Now,
because firearms can make a sound that will alert people to your location if you're missing. That'd be my speculation on why that is.
Loud.
Like, you can fire as many arrows as you want into the air and no one's going to hear them. But you fire your rifle a few times in the air. What were you saying, babe? Sorry.
And that's kind of the whole point of using a bow.
Right.
It's quiet.
aren't predator attacks, meaning bear, mountain lion, etc.
Right.
And at the times where their clothing is found, there's no evidence of that. You know, there would be evidence.
A bear blood. Doesn't conveniently unbutton you.
No. Or roll up your belt buckle or fold
And
your
put
pants.
your shoes by your pants. Yeah.
Depends on what kind of bear you're talking about. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure animal attacks, they can absolutely like rip you out of your clothes like pretty often.
Yeah, but like at the gay bar, when you run into a bear, though, he starts unbuttoning you. It's gonna be sensual and soft. He's probably not gonna look much like this, though.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen.
In Colorado, northern Colorado, a boy named Jared Adadero disappeared. His dad told a group of singles people that they could take his son to the fish hatchery.
Oh, are you familiar with this one? Jared Adadero? Colorado?
Isn't this the little boy that they went missing, and it is very likely that he was possibly killed by a mountain lion.
I thought he was the one that got taken by the bear in the woods behind his house.
Well, let it keep playing. We'll
Jared Aldedo missing? I mean, I'm trying to see if I can pull up anything on it. Okay, I spelled Jared wrong. Here we go. 3-year-old American boy who went missing in October while hiking with a Christian social group in 1999. Mountain lion. Yes, you are absolutely right. The suspected culprit is mountain lion.
A mile away. And unbeknownst to the dad, Alan, this group of young adults decided that they were going to go walk a trail and never told the dad, and took Jocelyn and Jared on this walk up this trail. They were single people. They didn't know that you're supposed to watch kids real close. Yeah. Jared ran ahead of the group, walked up and saw a couple fishermen. And Jared asked the fishermen, "Are there any bear around here?" And the fisherman got upset and said, "No bear around here." And he was hitting the water with a stick, and they told me, "Don't do that."
Chasing the fish away.
Right. They let this kid go. Jared walked on. Was never seen alive again.
Smart.
Now, 4 years later, and 600 feet up the trail, I've been on this trail 20 times. And George, I can tell you, I've never made a tougher climb in my life. It was probably 70 degrees, almost straight up, for 600 feet. Exhausting. And at the top, and in this boulder-ridden area, they found his skull cap, and they found one tooth sitting on top of a log.
One tooth.
And then they found his shoes, sweatshirt, and his pants. Now, imagine...
Did they not know about disarticulation by scavengers after the initial attack? Jesus Christ.
Or that mountain lions will drag shit back. Like, and also, like, I love the part that we're missing about, like, what's the defining feature of a mountain lion? The motherfucker lives in the mountains. It's, yeah, like, if it grabs a little teeny tiny little 3-year-old, it's gonna take the fucking kid back up to the fucking where its little den is, where it's like hanging out, where it fucking wants to sit to fucking, you know, have its meal. Like, I remember part of the whole like controversy over this child's case, which I feel like extends outside of the missing 411 like people.
About the crazy guy who said he was him?
Oh, I don't even know about that. I don't even remember anything about that. It's just the question of what he's about to say. It's the question of how this child's clothing was found. He just said, like, oh, it was the tough. First off, it's not a tough climb, but it is a point that you actually have to climb up to. So everybody, you know, like there's all this controversy over, you know, the child could not have gotten up there himself, which I do agree with, but people are acting like some human had to have taken the kid and stuck his clothing and his, like, some of his remains up there. Like, no, it's just a mountain lion dragged him up there to eat him, you know, like.
I do want to say the show, we're winding down towards the end part of the show. I need at least one more shot to top me off. So if you wanna buy a shot, $5. If you want to torment me with freaking celery fucking juice because Dr. Ben's an asshole, then you can do $10 and get me a celery juice shot. It's up to you, though. It's up to you how much you want to torture our hostess tonight. Sumami is not drinking with me tonight, but Sumami doesn't really drink, which is cool. I'm just glad she's here to help me tackle this grifter. Because this is, if I was ranking the charlatans as far as how icky I find them so far, David's really up there. He really is. I mean, and that's the worst part, is he presents himself as this rational guy and everything, but he's grifting off people's missing children, right? With Bigfoot and alien and supernatural claims. It's really quite gross.
I'm a former cop. I know what I'm doing here. I'm an authority figure.
Yeah, he grifts off his reputation as a detective for the police in order to, In
this scenario,
4 years later.
4 years later, 4 winters in Colorado. Yeah. They turn all the evidence over to Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and I have held the shoes. George, they look brand new. Like they were never sitting outside.
Never weathered.
And then the pants were turned inside out. And the sweatshirt he was wearing still had vibrant colors. Now, I've interviewed Alan, his dad.
And they didn't look like they were out in the weather for 4 years.
No, not in the least.
It's as if something brought it back, maybe within days.
That's to me what it looks like. But
You can't keep clothes out there in Colorado for.
That's, oh my gosh. This is the bullshit right here. I held those shoes in my hand and they didn't look worn at all. The kid was attacked by a mountain lion. Come on, a mountain lion. And you're worried about his pants being inside out. I don't want to be graphic about it, but how do you get to the leg meat on a human?
4 years without it looking like somebody was in a mud wrestling contest.
Well, then you think about the wind and the rain and the snow. You think it
it's
would have
dirty.
been blown
It's-
off,
yeah.
right? So, in speaking to Alan, interviewing him, he said one thing my son never did is he never tied his shoes.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of people, and I don't understand it. If a mountain lion had grabbed him or a bear had grabbed him and drug him up that hill, there's no way those shoes would have stayed on his feet. The clothing was presented to 4 different mountain lion experts, and each of them said there's no way a mountain lion killed that boy. There would have been blood all over the clothing. His garments would have been torn to shreds. That wasn't the scenario.
No closure.
No closure, no help,
Yeah.
no assistance, no explanation, and people would just want to wash their hands of it and walk away. And that is a recurring scenario. I don't care what country you're in.
Says the guy
that
who
is
wants
what's
to blame it on Bigfoot. Holy shit, to wash their hands of it. Is blaming on Bigfoot washing your hands of it and walking away?
I feel like he doesn't even directly blame things. He doesn't really directly blame things on Bigfoot or aliens or things like that. Like what he said is, he said like something. He's always doing this vague like implication of something.
But there's always the illusion to that. It's always alluded to that something supernatural's at play here, right?
I think that's I think a lot of people like cling to that. Like, and I think he realizes that it plays into people's vulnerability and like the concept of not knowing or it possibly being some type of perpetrator, even if it's not a human perpetrator that you can place blame on mentally. Like I think fucking people are really susceptible when they're grieving. They're like falling into this grifter's trap.
Do these parents speculate on what they think might have happened?
So in the case of Jared Adadero, Alan, his dad is a teacher in Colorado, and I've interviewed him many times, and he has a very open mind. He has a difficult time believing that that clothing was out there for 4 years. He got a phone call right in the middle of this big search effort, maybe 2 weeks into it, by somebody saying that they're from the sheriff's office, and they were withholding information from you. And he said, "I hope you find the truth someday." And they hung up.
Huh. That's weird.
Very weird.
Please just fucking stop this shit, David. That was so cruel to do to that parent right there. Do you hear that?
Weird. And Alan's told me before it's bothered him ever 16, 17 years later. And he and I have some really good discussions. He read my book. He contacted me and he said, "Dave, you're one of the few guys that was willing to tell the truth and tell the whole story." And he said, a lot of people just want to think it's something natural. The local press will just say, "Oh, it's a mountain lion attack."
Mountain lion. The elements got him.
Exactly.
The experts said it was a mountain lion attack. There's some naysayers that want to dip into the woo-woo on this in the Jared case, but for the most part, that's been the story. That the understanding of it was that he was attacked and dragged away by a mountain lion. The little boy only weighed like 45 pounds, and he was dragged away into the boulder field by a mountain lion and eaten. Go ahead, Sue. I'm sorry.
One thing I wanted to say about the shoes is this dumbass is sitting here saying, "Oh, the child didn't tie his shoes, and that he couldn't have they couldn't have stayed on his feet if he got dragged up this little like peak with this hill basically by this mountain lion." How the fuck was the kid running around? How was he hiking with this couple that was friends with the dad? How did he run over to these fishermen and talk to them, and then run off if he was wearing untied shoes that were just gonna basically like fall off of his feet? Somebody tied his shoes for him. Like, what the fuck? Like,
can we talk about the mountain lion tracks that were next to Jared's footprints on the trail? Because that was a thing.
oh, I didn't read about that.
Yeah, there were mountain lion tracks following this little boy's footprints. So do with that what you will.
He said few want to get in and know the facts and hear from experts and let the facts be known. Let people decide on their own what's going on.
Jeez. Let's talk about some of the cases of these disappearing
Hey, Lil, thank you for showing up.
people. David, how about Larry Dwayne Krebs?
He was at Lake Texoma in southern Oklahoma, and they were out middle of the afternoon one day collecting firewood. His dad said 8 paces behind him. He could hear him.
8.
And
This desk is 4 feet long, so you just double it. That's nothing.
not far. And you wouldn't call that negligent either. I mean, we've all done that.
Of course.
And
you turn around,
Yeah. Well, his dad said he turned around at one point and his son wasn't there.
Gone.
And search and rescue came in and they searched and they said that they followed a series of prints behind his dad's that walked into a puddle of water, and that was it. And the puddle of water was a couple inches deep.
Yeah,
It wasn't big.
It wasn't like a hole.
No. And massive search. Found nothing. And to this day...
I'm not familiar with this case. Are you, babe?
I'm trying to look it up because I think
What they say the name was?
Larry Dwayne Krebs.
Okay. Yeah. So I have the Jared situation up here. So I sort of know about that. And I was familiar with that case too. A matter of fact, that came up with last week's Live from the Hive because I covered mountain lion attacks and that name actually came up. My brain did a double take when they mentioned it here. But mountain lions do take human children. Human children are natural prey for mountain lions. They always have been. As long as there's been humans in North America, our children have been prey for these animals.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's more often going to be that a person just gets lost and attacked by an animal. Though.
Yeah, mountain lion attacks are rare.
This Larry Krebs case kind of sounds a little fishy.
Larry's never been found.
Like maybe a murder?
Yeah, like it sounds like his dad is a little fishy. I don't understand who would let a 2-year-old walk behind them. Who's going to let a 2-year-old that you're alone with out in the woods? First off, it's just everything. Well, I'm not going to bring my 2-year-old out camping with me if I'm going out to go fishing and camping. I'm not
If you
bring the
do, you leave
I'm
that fucking kid at the campsite. You don't take him out to collect firewood with you.
No, you can't leave a 2-year-old by themselves.
Well, no, you leave him at the campsite with the
Or like you pick the child up and carry it. Like you cannot leave a 2-year-old to walk behind you and think that they're not gonna fucking run off or get lost or something. If you're out in the middle of the woods, that's insane. Like, and the guy says that he just turned around and the kid was gone. That sounds like fucking. Old Larry's daddy needed to be interviewed a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I don't think that in 2025 that kind of a story would be so easily, taken.
Come on, guys! I need one more shot before we wrap up the show. Make it happen. Got one more in me before I'm too inebriated to operate things and we have to close down.
So imagine law
How do you
enforcement.
explain this?
Imagine law enforcement or search and rescue. Never worked a case like that before. Sees that. Obviously, at the beginning, your focus is going to be on the dad. And after you exclude him...
You realize the dad...
As our guest host just pointed out, the focus should be on the dad. He was the only other person in the woods with this infant. Or not infant, but with this toddler.
It's a tremendous mourning. He's in shock.
Oh, yeah. And then imagine you're the dad and law enforcement is looking at you.
But you got to understand that.
Hopefully you do.
I would. I mean, I would, as upset as I would be for them even to question it, you have to understand that you're the first suspect. You're the last one to see the kid.
Right. It's a hard
Oh,
line for
shit.
law
I got to
enforcement.
tell a story about my oldest. He's 20 now. Oh, holy shit. Damn, Tom. Appreciate you, babe. I got to tell a story about my oldest son. When he was, I want to say 5 or 6, we were at a carnival, actually something called Mark Twain Days in Hannibal, Missouri. I guess it doesn't matter to tell it now. We were at Mark Twain Days in Hannibal, Missouri, and the little fun house thing that they have for the little kids, I let him go in that, and the little fucker disappeared on me. Like, I don't know where he went. He ran off with the kids that he was going through the fun house with, and I panicked, and we looked for him for like 20 minutes, and I had a heart attack. Not literally, but like figuratively, until this woman showed up holding his hand and was like, "Oh, don't be mad at him. He's so scared." I was like, "Bitch, I'm going to be mad at him. I'm going to be mad at him because I told him to meet me in a certain spot." I was so panicked as a parent. So losing a kid is no joke, right?
My mom would have beat my ass, girl.
Yeah.
My mom would have beat my ass if I did something like that. We
This
would have been
one-
going home right then and there.
Yeah, he was in trouble. Now this one is gone. It's empty. I got about half a shot out of it. I'm not good for a $20 super chat. For a $20 super chat, I got to open up a new one. And this is the Outer Space Alien Head Vodka original. It's in the green bottle and it's translucent. So I'm gonna open this.
I like that one, that bottle.
You like that one better than the silver one?
Yeah, I like that bottle.
This one's not been opened yet, so it should be perforated, right? But I'm not gonna go cheap on Thomas when he just dropped a fucking $20 super chat. Which I don't know if Thomas knows that I'm struggling right now or not, but I appreciate you, babe. Really appreciate you. Yeah, I do like this bottle too. I've had this. This was a gift. This one was a gift. The other one I bought myself. This one was a gift from somebody I was working with at a place called Trans Perfect. So, love you, girls. But I'm gonna take this shot. We're gonna see how much longer we can keep going because we're not hour 37. I do want to keep this show under 2 hours, so we'll see how long we get into it. But I'm always gonna pick the vodka if you give me a choice over the celery juice. Yuck, that was so awful, so awful.
Yeah, I'm dying to smoke a cigarette.
Do you need to smoke? All right, we'll wrap things up here
Yeah.
pretty quick. Because I'm not going to be able to function soon.
To walk in, it's even a harder line for the parents. But having that belief system, what you just explained, would be perfect for getting law enforcement past that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Larry's never been found.
Logic tells you that the kid was picked up.
And again, if you would have found tracks on the ground, there would have been a scent trail. And even under that scenario, he couldn't have gone in the ground because the water was still there.
I'm not saying it was aliens. You can do the hand thing with me, Sumami. But it was aliens.
Even like if they
When
even
you go-
decided to actually flat out just throw up the picture of like somebody like levitating and getting like
Yeah, right? And that's the thing about like Gaia and Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast was the framework that Gaia is built on, right?
Is it?
Really is, yeah. And George Norrie, I believe, is deeply steeped in Gaia at this point.
Not into this. There must have been one or two case studies that first cropped up that got you to say, hey, there's something weird here. I'm going to study this. How'd that happen for you?
Well, originally, I got a notification from a national park ranger that he had worked at a series of national parks, and they had an unusual amount of disappearances, and the people had disappeared in unusual places that really didn't make a lot of sense to this person. And over the years, they tried to do a little research and figure out what happened, and they got stymied. And the more they looked into it, into their internal system, he got concerned that there wasn't enough being done. And eventually ended up contacting me when I was at a park doing some peripheral research.
And to be clear, he contacted David Paulides because of his 2 books about Bigfoot. His 2 books about Bigfoot kidnapping people. Girl, I have that same sports bra that I would have worn tonight if I'd known we were going to dress up in sports bras. We could, yeah. I have that same white one. Mine's kind of gray, though.
It shouldn't be
And
hunched
we started
over,
to look into disappearances in the U.S. National Park System. Probably the first case that brought my interest was a case of Stacy Arrows that disappeared in Yosemite.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old girl that was on a pack train ride into Sunrise Lakes, into the High Sierra area of Yosemite. Her and her dad stopped at a series of cabins. She got off her horse, freshened up, and her and a 70-year-old man named Stuart went and took a short walk off to this bluff, and she brought her camera, and they were going to just take pictures. The trail hands saw them walk over there, and she walked away from Stuart and told Stuart she was going to walk down to a lake to take some pictures. And this trail hand and Stuart saw her walk down there, and that was the last time she was ever seen. Jeez. Subsequent search found the lens cap to her camera right inside the tree line of that area. But the reality is they never found a trace of her after that. I filed a series of Freedom of Information Act requests against the parks.
Oh gosh, I remember Adam Walsh. You remember Adam Walsh? That's where we get, it's Rescue 911? Was that?
It's where the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children comes from. And
But his dad did Rescue 911, the show, though, right? Matt Walsh.
I think it was America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted. There you go. There you go. Thank you. America's Most Wanted. Absolutely. Kelly
yeah,
just
his
brought
case
it up.
is unsolved as far as I
All
think.
right.
I think that case is unsolved.
Do they ever talk about Dennis Martin in this one? Because I want to shame. I honestly, as shitty as it sounds, I want to shame David Paulides for the way he presents the Dennis Martin case, because it pulled a lot of us in to the whole missing 411 situation. Why am I seeing lizard people? Did I just see a lizard person on this slide? Yes, I did.
Geico gecko.
Holy shit. We're gonna go ahead and hop up and see what the fuck this is about.
Something I really know nothing about is people say that there's reptilians out there, and the reptilians are in the woods taking these people and feeding off them.
Extraterrestrials.
Yeah. Or ultra-terrestrials, and they're here, living in, like some people have stated that they live underground. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, there's the alien connection that I've heard 10,000 times.
Do people see craft around some of these
That's
scenes?
never been reported.
Okay.
But one thing that people do say is that...
Wasn't there a video earlier, or what clip that they showed earlier where he's like, yeah, there were lights in the sky? Isn't that UFOs?
I forgot. I don't remember that.
Oh.
With these disappearances, immediately after or right after, part of that profile is that there's bad weather associated with this, meaning in many of these cases, sometimes it rains inches and inches or snows feet and feet in days right afterwards.
Which is common for the people they can't find. You're telling me there was extreme weather that washed away tracks and traces of the missing person? You don't say. Huh. That must be supernatural.
That's one of those things that they're always like trying to say, like, there's always mysterious weather patterns that happen around all these cases. Like, no, it's like a few of them, like it rained after the person went missing. Like, that's pretty fucking common. Like,
that helps them stay missing, right? If it rains and washes away their footprints, washes away the scent for the dogs to follow. That makes sense that the people that you don't find are the people whose traces were washed away by weather. It's not.
Yeah.
I think it's like a causation correlation thing, but they're actually reversing causation and correlation. It's not the weather is mysterious because it happened when they disappear. It's that they disappeared because of the weather, or they weren't able to be tracked because of the weather.
Out the scene, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And so aliens, alien abduction, that's a really common one. Another one that I've heard a lot from Europe and Iceland is fairies.
Oh, fairies.
Fairies and little
Ember, you called this one. This one's for you, Ember.
Uh-huh. And I've actually...
Is it the Unseelie Court? Is the Unseelie Court kidnapping these people in national parks, Tsumami? Putting you on the spot. You gotta tell us. The Unseelie Court, are they responsible? As a representative.
Me, 'cause I'm a changeling.
Yeah, as a changeling, I need your opinion on this. Is this unseelie behavior?
Wouldn't they be stealing people in Ireland? Not in
Yeah, but they could
American
migrate.
national parks.
I mean, they can migrate.
About that in some of my books because the folklore and mythology that surrounds it talks about them abducting people.
Yes, that's right.
So
Ancient folklore.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then another one is that there's gods, and the gods at times take people for
Or
their own will.
just flat out, just God.
And part of
God's like, you, I want you, and then reaches out and plucks you up, and you're gone. That's what happened to that 2-year-old. Not his dad didn't. His dad didn't do something awful to him. He just got picked up by God, relocated to heaven, as S.J. Thomas would say.
that taking of them is that if they don't fit the eventual needs of those gods, they're replaced back on Earth, and those are the ones we find deceased. I've heard that probably 200 times. The other one that a lot of people may think is true is that there's a group of serial killers out there in the woods.
Correct.
To me, that is the least likely of every scenario. Not that I'm.
Hey, before we finish up this episode, actually, we'll stop it right here as far as this goes. But I had a question to ask you about the smiley face killer. Are you familiar with that as a true crime buff? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. That's the same as the Manchester Pusher. It's all bullshit. It's called dumb, young, drunk-ass men fucking get drunk. They need to pee. They fucking go up to fucking go pee. Fucking usually like in a body of water, a pool, something like that, and whoop, tumble over.
Drown.
That's the whole explanation, in my opinion.
And the fact that there's a smiley face, the most common symbol for anybody to freaking graffiti anywhere, found at the location of these people having accidents, does not indicate a serial killer, in my opinion. God, my eyes are.
No,
pretty...
it was only it's only like I don't even actually fucking. I've never read about a legitimate source saying that yes, there was a smiley face in any way, like even close enough to the body or that's relevant at all to any of these like people.
Look how pretty my eyes are, though. Did you notice that? They're so pretty.
I can't really see. I'm on my phone.
Lame. Are you on your phone? That's right. Yeah. All right. So I think we're going to wrap up the show here. We've done pretty good at tearing down David's nonsense tonight. What do you think? Final thoughts on the missing 411 doll? You're not a doll, but yeah.
I think David
fuck. There's another $20. God damn. Hold on. We got to do this one. We got to do it. Just wanted to say you have a really underrated channel, and I appreciate the content you make. You both did a great job hosting this stream. Thank you so much. All right. While you talk about your final thoughts on the missing 411 with Butters, I am going to pour myself a shot. So the floor is yours, my dear.
Oh, okay. I think he's a grifting piece of shit. I think he needs to go get a job as like a security guard at the mall or something. Not
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a hobby, dude.
The missing persons cases.
And I really do stand Wild World, by the way. I do. Y'all are great. Dude, you need to tell me what your next video is about. Give us the insight. Give us the secret. What do you got coming up next, babe? We want to know. Tsunami is beautiful, too. Yeah, that's why we're like two hotties up on the screen right now. She's a lot skinnier than I am, though. It takes two Tsunamis to make one Brie.
We all know who the most beautiful girl is in the room. It's Butters.
It's Butters. It is. Butters is the queen of the stream. I love me some Butters. And if you want to see more of Butters, Tsunami is always dropping pictures of Butters in her community tab. So if you follow Tsunami, you will be able to participate in that. And there's not just Butters. We have Binky and Baby Cakes. And who else do we got? I need names.
Buttersfans.com.
Butters fans. Besides Butters, Baby Cake, Binky, Noodle. There's one I'm
Butters,
forgetting.
Baby Cake, Binky, Noodle, Pasha, and Nana.
Pasha. And what's the pupper?
Nana Bear. Diamond.
Amanda Bear.
She's sleeping.
And they are all available for your viewing pleasure on Sumami's channel. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe for little furry friends.
And two feathered ones.
Two feathered friends. Yeah, we got Flotsam and Jetsam. Who you want to go? You explain. Who are Flotsam and Jetsam? I'm taking my shot for Thomas.
They're my wild crow friends that come by my window multiple times a day to get food. Or like they come and like land at their little spot on their tree and scream at me until I come out and either bring them peanuts, which thankfully I got more peanuts today. Or when I'm out, sometimes I make them like a little sandwich. I make them a little peanut butter sandwich and I put some flaxseed and pecans and walnuts, like a couple in there, mushed up.
Do they like the mealworms or did they not like that? I know you gave them mealworms before.
Mealworms, I have to well, they were like dry ones, so I had to put them in like, basically had to throw them in like their water bowl. And like, sometimes they'll like eat them out of there, sometimes they're like freaked out by it.
So here's the thing. Here's something you shouldn't do. You should not go to Petco and go over to the reptile feeder section, open it up and take a mealworm out, and then walk over to the slider turtles and drop it in there. You should not do that if you want to see the turtles get all excited. Yeah. There you go. Mealworms, those are the dried ones for the birds. She has two ravens that she feeds. They have a baby, or they have a little flock that are
they have
murder.
4 babies.
Murder. They have a little murder that they're part of. Is what I understand.
These ones are moist. They're not dry. These are moist ones.
Ooh, those are the moist ones. We actually have me and Ben and Bo have some soap moth larvae that we need to stir fry and eat up because that is something I'm going to do on stream. Yeah, I see that look on your face, Bish. If you were here staying with us, I'd make you eat them too. You will eat the bugs, Sumami. You will eat the bugs.
No.
They're delicious. Do you eat shrimp? Do you eat clams?
Yeah, but the only bugs I'll eat are ants.
Ants? Some black, some of that powdered ants. That's really good. Yeah, you can put that in anything to add protein to it.
Ew, powdered.
What are you just sticking your tongue in
chutney.
the? So
Makes some mango chutney.
Let's see the tongue that you stick in the anthill. Come on.
Make some mango chutney.
Mango. All right. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. This has been a fun show. Thank you so much for joining me, doll. I keep calling you doll, but you're not a doll. I know. You actually taught me the term doll, and I've been using it ever since. Because
you mean that kind of doll?
So mommy's like, Bree, you're a doll. And I'm like,
doll
what's
baby.
a doll? And you're like, you don't know about ball culture? And then we spent like a week watching ball content every night and Gather for like a week. It was great. Thank you so much for introducing me to that. Now I understand.
Yeah, everybody needs to watch Paris is Burning.
Paris is Burning. It's a good series, and it talks about doll culture in the 90s. And there's I mean, if you like true crime, there's some true crime in there too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
I guess I didn't know that when they were filming that movie, though.
You gave your final thoughts on David Paulides. Now I'm going to give mine. I think that David Paulides is a retired detective with too much time on his hands who is chasing ghosts and seeing he reminds me of Charlie Day in Sunny with the pegboard behind him. He's really trying to make connections that aren't there, but he's very successful at it and is selling it and making money off of it by selling these books and documentary series. So he's a
There's
charlatan.
nothing wrong with chasing a few ghosts, okay?
Yeah.
Or one.
Sumami is a ghost fucker. I'm a monster fucker, and Sumami's a ghost
No,
fucker.
no, I'm not.
Yes,
No,
you
I
are.
only
Shut
like
up. You
one.
are too.
No, I only like one.
Ghost fucker. Ghost fucker. You don't get to. Your ghost is super hot. I don't disagree with you that your ghost is a very attractive young man, and he feels like he would make you squirt maybe. So, yeah, I'll give it up to that guy. Any final thoughts before we dip out? I do want to have you back. This has been fun. You've been a great guest.
Happy Navratri, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. I actually think next time I have you back on, we might talk about a guru of some kind. So that'll be fun for you. Well, this is your wheelhouse too, but that'll be in your spiritual wheelhouse, talking about some of these grifter gurus of modern day. But we'll see Sumami back on Charlatan's Web again. Don't you worry. Her tits are perfect for revenue, and I'm not going to waste them. So, yeah. All right. So please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.